There you go. You got it?
So we would like to welcome you all here. Fidel Castro, the historic leader of the Cuban Revolution, passed away on November 25th at the age of 90. Fidel led the Cuban people to fulfill the final battle to establish a free and independent Cuba against the dictatorship of Fulgencio Batista. He led the Cuban people in their military battles against a U.S. invasion at the Bay of Pigs, and from that point on, constant attempts to invade the country, carry out terrorism, chemical and biological warfare, and every kind of slander. Fidel and Cuba cannot be separated. Fidel and humanity cannot be separated. His life was a life dedicated to liberation, to the anti-colonial struggle, and for socialism. Fidel and Cuba stood with all those oppressed around the world, not with words, and not as a show to hide sinister motives, but on the basis of sacrifice and genuine internationalism. Today, we mourn his passing. This vigil is to honor and reflect the life and work of Fidel. It is also for us to stand with the Cuban people who deeply mourn his loss.
Fidel Castro wouldn't like us to remember him like a saint or a person that did marvelous things. On one interview, one time he said that he was just doing what he's supposed to be doing. He said that it was not fun, but those are the things that he's supposed to be doing. So, you know, in our case, as a Canadians, as a workers, we have a lot of responsibility here in Canada, to be united and to achieve the sovereignty and to achieve the dignity that the Cuban people have. Because, you know, when you go to Cuba, you smell something different. There is no American propaganda. There is no American television. There is not even American cigarettes. So I tell you, you know, even with all the propaganda that they can show here in Canada or in the US or in Europe, they cannot erase all the things that Fidel did.